Hello and welcome back to another video. So happy that you are here. So we're going to talk today about 5 health issues that can manifest when your feminine energy is not balanced or when your feminine energy is blocked. So we're going to talk about five today. There are a lot more, and these are just the top 5. And some of these I personally have experienced, and once I started healing my feminine energy and did more of the feminine healing work on myself, I found that these issues resolved themselves because I balanced my feminine energy. So today we're going to talk about the 5 that you may be experiencing, or that actually can manifest if you have imbalanced feminine energy. I'm a certified energy healer, energy practitioner. I have my own energy healing studio where I work with women to balance their energetic body and remove any kind of blockages that they have. And a lot of these blockages that women come to me with are in their lower chakras, in their sacral chakra, in their abdominal area. A lot of these women that come to me have a lot of these imbalances in their feminine energy. So my work is all about helping women really heal on that energetic level and remove these blockages from their energetic body. And so a lot of the women that I see, they're experiencing symptoms, and these symptoms are linked to their feminine energy. And so not everything is linked to feminine energy imbalances. You have to see your doctor to find out what's really going on with your body. But a lot of these health problems that we have as women are actually linked to feminine energy imbalances, and our feminine energy either being blocked or us being too much in our masculine energy, which is causing a lot of these health problems and health issues. So today we're going to really go into the 5 top health problems that can manifest when your feminine energy is blocked. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. I'm a holistic healer and mentor, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and like the video. I would love to have you here. And let's get into today's video. So the first health issue that a lot of women experience when they have feminine energy imbalance is painful periods. So painful periods is the top sign that there's something going on with your feminine energy, or there's a block, or that you are not actually living in your feminine. So we have been really disconnected from our feminine energy, and we have been in our masculine energy, and we have a lot of energetic blockages to do with the feminine energy. And so these blockages will manifest as physical problems, and the number one way that this manifests is through your period, or not even having a period, or your period being very, very painful. Or you could be experiencing irregular periods, which is also a sign that your feminine energy is blocked, or there is energetic imbalances to do with the feminine energy. So in order to heal, and come back to really having a normal period, and what a normal period is really a painless period where the period is light and regular. So you're having a period every month. It is fairly light, and the bleeding is between 3 to 5 days, and the cycle is also a longer cycle, so between 25 to 35 days. And so if your period is very painful, if there's a lot of cramping, then that is an indication that there is feminine imbalances in your in the womb area and the sacral chakra area. This is where we connect with the feminine energy. And so a lot of women who experience painful periods it is a sign that, you know, they have a lot of feminine energy blockages. They're either not in their feminine, or, you know, when you don't have a period, it's an indication that, you know, you're too much in your masculine and you're actually overworking, your body's stressed, and so you're most likely in fight or flight. And so the stress hormone is causing your body really to stop the period, and that is linked to the feminine energy. So when we're really stressed, when we're really in a state of high cortisol buildup, that is when, you know, that is fight or flight, and your body naturally basically shuts down all of these things to do with, you know, the menstrual cycle. You're gonna have problems with your digestion in general. So it's going to be affected because you are in fight or flight, and you're not actually in that rest and digest. And that is also the feminine energy. The feminine energy is very much the energy of being in the moment, being in a place of peace, calm, present, and not in a state of fight or flight. When you're in a state of fight or flight, when you're in a state of constantly going, hustling, pushing yourself, pushing your body, perfectionism, that causes these energetic imbalances and throws your body off. So it's natural rhythm, right? Because we have a natural rhythm as women, and so we need to honor that and come back to, you know, really resting more, not pushing ourselves too much, and, you know, coming back into alignment to our feminine, which is all about really going inwards more and feeling, rather than being out there too much in the world. For myself, I really had a lot of pain in terms of my period cramps, and I was suffering with a painful period for some time while I was actually doing the feminine healing work. And this really was a period of cleansing for me, and you could be experiencing this well when you're going through intense feminine healing. You could be experiencing your period really being more amplified, because our period is where we actually shed not just the lining, but the emotions that you're holding on to, and we're really releasing all these emotions that are no longer serving us. And this happens a lot through the period, and the period is really where women are releasing a lot of emotional blockages. And so, you know, for me, my period intensified, and this can be the case if you are really feeling like you're going through a lot of feminine healing and you're actually healing and balancing the feminine energy. This could actually throw your period off in terms of your body trying to cleanse on a deep level. So this could actually affect your period and make it more painful. And in a normal period should be painless. There should be no symptoms in terms of cramping. The normal period should be very much a light period, and the cramping should be fairly light. It's normal to have a little bit of pain with your period, a little bit of cramping, that is normal. But if it is very painful, there's a lot of cramps, very intense, then that is not normal. So with my period, I have really stabilized because I have really, you know, stabilized and healed my feminine energy. And so that allowed me to really come back into having my periods come back to normal, which is, you know, basically very light and little cramping, little to next to no cramping, and a longer period cycle with bleeding that is fairly short and, like I said, very light. So I have really done a lot of energy healing on myself in terms of healing my feminine energy. So that allowed me to come back to having a normal period. And so this is the feminine energy is really linked to your period. So anytime there is anything to do with your period or any imbalances, then that is an indication that your feminine energy is not balanced. So the second health problem that can manifest when your feminine energy is blocked is hormonal imbalances. So your hormones are linked to your inner energies, to your feminine or your masculine energy. And for women, when we are, when we're not in our feminine, we are actually, going against our natural rhythm. And this causes and throws off your body, including your hormones. So, you may be too stressed, you may be in fight or flight, because of you being too much in your masculine and suppressing your feminine and not actually acknowledging your feminine, right? So we have been too much in our masculine energy and operating from the wounded masculine, and we haven't been tapping into our divine feminine energy enough. We have been living with all of these energetic blockages and emotional imbalances in our body, which is leading to these health problems, and your hormones are directly affected. So in order to really balance your hormones and really balance that, it really involves healing your feminine energy and really doing the emotional work to get out of fight or flight. And also maybe changing your diet as well, incorporating more fats, looking at, what your diet is currently. Exercise is really important as well. Make sure that you are exercising regularly and not doing too much exercising and overextending yourself, because that throws off your hormones and that puts you into the masculine energy, and that can affect your hormones and your feminine energy. So exercising in a balanced way, and also maintaining a good weight, and not under consuming. So that is really important as well. We need to actually make sure that we're getting enough sleep. Sleep is really important for your hormones, and the stress is related to all of this. And your hormones are spiking because of imbalances in your feminine linked to emotional blockages. This causes also PMS. PMS is linked to your hormones, but your hormones are linked to emotional imbalances, and PMS is really just a lot of these emotions, these blocked feminine energy emotions, the wounded feminine aspects trying to come up and be released and be seen. And so this is what really PMS is, as it's an emotion. You're going through an emotional roller coaster, but a lot of these emotions, when you track them, they're actually linked to the distorted feminine or the wounded feminine. So when you really track this, when you start to track what's really going on with your emotions, you're going to start to realize that this is not really even you. This is more to do with this other aspect of you, which is the wounded feminine, which is the emotional imbalances that we have been carrying as women, because these are all generational things. These are generational traumas and wounds which we are passing down, and this stops with us when we actually heal all of this, heal the feminine principle, and we're not passing down these generational wounds and blocks to our children and future generations. So it starts with actually facing the inner world, the feminine energy. What is really going on with your emotions every single month? Start to track that and really start to understand what is coming up for you every month and how are you feeling every month. The third health issue that can manifest when your feminine energy is out of balance is PCOS. And this is linked to your reproductive organs. It's directly linked to your womb, and anything to do with your womb is linked to your feminine energy. So this really causes imbalances in your menstrual cycle, not having a regular menstrual cycle, and really a lot of other symptoms that gets amplified when you have PCOS, or when you are too much in your masculine energy. And so this PCOS, or anything that's already manifested, is already manifested because you're in that for a long time, like that energy, you've been imbalanced for a long time. So we need to correct that before we actually manifest health problems. A lot of the times these health problems are, like I said, passed down through the DNA, through the generational line, because of, you know, our ancestors and how they have been functioning in, you know, survival and not in their true core energy and not balanced. Their, you know, these two energies have been very out of balance on the planet. And so these health problems are just a manifestation of what's really going on with the energetics within the body. So you have to understand that it all comes down to the energetics. The root cause is always energetics. It's nothing more than that. And so PCOS is linked to the imbalance in your feminine energy, you rejecting your feminine, not being in your feminine, or you being in your masculine or having that masculine shield. The fourth health issue that can manifest when your feminine energy is blocked or imbalanced is IBS and abdominal discomfort, abdominal issues. This is so common for women to have a lot of IBS flare-ups. I've had this myself, and you know, this happens every time there is emotional stuff, or when I'm in fight or flight mode, or when I'm very stressed. I can feel, you know, a lot of these things happening in my abdominal area. And so the abdominal area, or the sacral chakra, which is linked to our feminine energy, and also our solar plexus, which is linked to our power. And when we are not in our feminine, we are not in our power, and we have a lot of emotional blockages to do with the second chakra, the pain body. And this is linked to our sacral chakra, and this also manifests as issues in that area, or even abdominal problems, because it's all interconnected, it's all interlinked. So IBS is very much linked to the energetic imbalance and to do with your feminine energy, and most of the time it's linked to these emotional blockages that we need to still release and heal. And you may even have a lot of emotional blockages that are just sitting in this area, in the lower area, and you may not even realize that they are there. But a lot of women, if they get bloated a lot, if you're having things like bloating, IBS, or abdominal discomfort, and this can be linked to the emotional blockages that still need to be released. And so for me, I was feeling very bloated for a long time until I did the emotional work and released a lot of these things that were sitting in my sacral chakra, in the pain body. And that's when I really felt that shift. And I actually, you know, I stopped the bloating, I stopped, you know, I actually released so much energy in my abdomen area. I've noticed it, and just lost all this like extra weight around my abdomen area. So this is really true that, you know, we have all these energetic imbalances, and they are sitting in our body, because our body is the one holding all of that. And this manifests into different kind of symptoms, into different kind of health problems. And when you're having IBS and abdominal discomfort, it is very much linked to emotional stuff. Maybe you are too much in fight or flight. Maybe you are too much in a trauma response, and your nervous system is then kicked into a trauma response, into fight or flight response, which affects your digestion and affects this lower area, which, you know, this is where we hold all the emotions. So this gets, you know, then you start to have the pain, the discomfort. This is all linked to emotional blockages. And the last health problem that I want to talk about is endometriosis. So endometriosis is very much linked to the, again, imbalance of the feminine energy, because it is linked to the reproductive organs. So this is a sign that, again, there is emotional stuff that is needed to be released to do your feminine. A lot of this is in your DNA, so you may not even know that this is, you know, that you have some emotional problems, but a lot of this is passed down through our genetic lines, and endometriosis is one of those things where, you know, if you have, you know, endometriosis in your family, then this could be, you know, something that you inherited. And so it is linked to your reproductive organs, and this is often leading to infertility and a lot of problems with, you know, your period, with your period being very, very intense and irregular, and a lot of women are having a hard time conceiving when they do have endometriosis. So the very important thing to know with this is that all of these health problems are linked to imbalances in our energies, and the cause is the energetics. The way to really, you know, release all of that is actually addressing the emotional blockages that are linked to the feminine energy or maybe the masculine energy. And so for a lot of women, these problems are linked to the feminine energy not being being balanced, or you not actually living from your feminine energy, or that, you know, you are too much in fight or flight response, too much in a trauma response, which is all to do with the fact that there's emotional blockages that you still need to address and that you haven't actually worked through. So a lot of this is linked to emotional issues. And you know, for me, I have gone through all of this myself, and I have had some of these health problems myself. Once I did all of this emotional work within myself, I did the healing work. I, you know, incorporated energy healing. I incorporated other modalities. I released a lot of this trauma that was in my cellular memory and in my energetic blueprint or my energetic template, which then corrected all these health problems and balanced my feminine energy, and then, you know, balanced my masculine. And so a lot of my work that I do, or a lot of my work that I did on myself, was to do with healing my feminine energy, to really come back to my core energy. And so I've had a lot of these health problems come up for me personally. And like I said, the way I correct them and the way that I, you know, help clients correct these health problems is to really identify the root cause and the energetics behind it. Sometimes it's too late to actually correct a lot of these problems because they have already manifested, and a lot of these problems have already manifested in the body. So this is why we actually need to be stepping into our feminine and living from our feminine. And this is why I keep saying that this is so important to do for women, to acknowledge the fact that we've been out of alignment with our true self, our core self. And this is why we are manifesting these health problems, because our energies haven't been balanced and we haven't actually been living in balance at all on the planet. So this is what, you know, what my work is all about, is helping women and help women understand themselves and actually correct these energetic imbalances before they manifest in the body. And so this is so key and so important to actually then, you know, stop all of these health problems from manifesting in your body. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching the video. Let me know if you are, you know, experiencing any of these health problems, or if you are on a feminine healing journey, and, you know, share your experience with me down below. If you need more help and support, and if you want to work with me, I have all my links in the description, including my programs and my mentorship that I offer to get into alignment with your feminine and, you know, really come back to that balance within. Thank you so much again, and I send you lots of love, and I'll speak to you in the next one.